I read 8 books in February, so I want to walk you guys through every book that I read from like the lowest rating to the highest, and there is a 5-star rating here, so I hope you guys keep watching. But make sure you guys subscribe, because literally right after this video I'm going straight to the bookstore because there's some books I want to pick up. So I'm going to go to Barnes, and yeah, so if you guys want to see that, the video is going to be up on, I think, Saturday. So yeah, let's get into this little February reading wrap up. First book that I read, or not first book, the last book I actually read in February, wow, I'm literally mixing up the months already, is Brightside. And I'm starting with this book because I gave this book a 2 stars. And the reason this book got a 2 stars for me, and I know so many people love this book, so like don't come for me, but she should have been with Gus. Like, she should have been with Gus. End of story. I feel like the whole book leads up to like her love for her best friend, and you literally see on the back that she, like, you know, has a best friend named Gus, but then you learn about Killer Banks and who he's like the love interest for the book, which is great. But like, I didn't really care about Keller's perspective throughout the book. I only wanted to hear from either Kate or Gus. And I also kind of feel like Kate towards the beginning of the book was a little pretentious. And I don't know, there were some things about her that I didn't really resonate with until the end of the book. So I gave this book 2 stars. It just wasn't for me. Another book that I read was All I've Wanted, All I've Needed, and this is another book that everyone is obsessed with. So I read it really excited to also become obsessed with the writing. And guys, I gave this 3 stars. And if you guys want to see on my Goodreads, like how I kind of rate things, I'll leave it below so you guys can like see the rating. 3 stars to me is like, it's not necessarily a bad book, but it's not necessarily a book that I think is great either. Like, it's just kind of somewhere in the middle. But this almost got 2 stars because the writing to me seemed really elementary. Like, I feel like the writing in this book was so, I don't know, there was just something about it that I just like couldn't really get into it. And I know a lot of people love this book, so again, if it's your favorite book, you know, everyone's opinions are different, and that's okay. I do think the story was beautiful. I thought that the story itself was, you know, had captivating elements. Just for me, the writing, I had a hard time really getting into it because the writing just seemed a little flat for me. I don't know how to explain it, just was. Let's get into the next one. This was my first book by Lynn Painter, and I've heard amazing things about this book, so I was really excited to read this one. I gave this book 3 stars, and I feel like, I don't know, did I give it 3 stars or 3.5? I can't remember. I feel like I gave it, yeah, 3 stars. I had to look on Goodreads because I forgot, but I think I wanted to like this book more than I actually did, and I always will read a book and then think about it for like a day before I give it a rating. And I feel like the reason I wanted to like this book more was because it gave some serious rom-com vibes, and it gave like movie vibes, which I thought was really cute, but also some of it was like very, very, very unbelievable, like Hallmark unbelievable. Like, she was like playing, I think, dodgeball or basketball or something, and like right in the middle of a sentence with the guy that she likes, she like gets hit in the face and then has to like go to the hospital. And like, you know, things like that kept happening throughout the book, where it was like, you know, she was just about to talk to her crush and then something like super like crazy or catastrophic would happen. I'm like, okay, this keeps happening. Like, this isn't really that realistic. And I do love like books for the element of like unrealistic romances, but some things were just a little too unrealistic. So again, 3 stars. It was enjoyable, but I would probably recommend it to someone if they're like just getting into reading, because I feel like it reminds me of a movie. And if you watch a lot of like lovey, like rom-com type movies, you'll probably like this book. But I feel like for someone who reads romance books, this seemed a little too like movie type fake. I don't know if that even makes sense, but again, 3 stars. It was enjoyable, didn't hate it, wouldn't necessarily like recommend it to everyone, but it was a cute read. This next book that I read is called There Goes the Neighborhood by Jade Adia, and this I think is her debut novel. It's YA. This actually comes out on the 7th, so I got this like as a preview before it actually comes out. The cover's incredible. I mean, that alone is beautiful. I gave this 3.5 stars, and I feel like I would have given it more if I had went into this book knowing that it was not a romance. And I don't know why I thought it was a romance. Maybe like the book itself is like more about gentrification, and it like has like a lighthearted feel to the whole book, but also you learn a lot at the same time, which I really, really love and appreciate. It kind of gave me Honey and Spice vibes, where I feel like Honey and Spice talked about like racism and a lot of like heavier topics, but made it like very lighthearted so you can like learn and also enjoy the book. Kind of like Dear White People movie vibes, you know what I mean? Like where it's like enjoyable, but also you learn. But this is a mystery. Like this is a true mystery, and I wish I had known that going in, because I feel like if I had known that, I wouldn't have been like halfway through the book like, where's the romance? Where's like, and I don't know why I thought it was a romance. I really don't, because it doesn't even say that in the book, but I think because she like talks at the beginning of the book about liking someone that she knows, I was like, ooh, like it's giving romance vibes, but it's definitely a mystery. But it was very enjoyable, super cute. I just wish I had known it was like more of a mystery going into it. I haven't read a Colleen Hoover book in so long, so getting back into like the Colleen Hoover world was so fun for me. And I actually stopped reading Colleen Hoover because I love her books so much, but I feel like it was almost limiting me because I was constantly reaching for her books and I knew I would love them. And then when I read something else, sometimes it wouldn't like live up to her hype, because I feel like her books get so quickly into the storyline. They grab you. They always have like a hook at the end that kind of like is like a twist, and not all books have that. So I got back into reading her books and read this. 4 out of 5 stars, such a good book. And I'm actually reading Hopeless again right now, because I read Hopeless in 2013, which is like kind of like the companion novel to this one. This is from Holder's point of view, the guy's main character's point of view, from Hopeless, and Hopeless is from the girl's point of view, Sky. And so reading Hopeless again, loving it. I have always loved Hopeless. It was my first Colleen Hoover read, so this was really special to me, and I really, really enjoyed it. Lynn Painter really redeemed herself with this book, because I obviously read Better Than the Movies, which was 3 stars for me, but I read The Do-Over by her, and I just was like, let me give it another shot, because I did really like the writing. It was interesting. It just was a little bit unbelievable. 4 out of 5 stars for this book. Like, such a cute book. And I know that this was actually, I think, just released like this year. I personally think that this book is better than the Movies. And I really like this book because it is a book where like the main character is like doing things over and over and over again, kind of like Groundhog Day vibes, but it talks a lot about like actually following your heart and what you want to do and like being your true self. But it doesn't like, I don't know, you don't really know what's gonna happen in the book the whole time, and I really enjoyed that. It was so cute. 4 out of 5 stars. You should definitely read this one. Casey Jones and the frickin' 6, guys. This book was 4.5 out of 5 stars for me. The only reason it wasn't 5 out of 5 is because the beginning was a little slower, and I think it's just because I genuinely don't ever read like period piece books, or not even like if the book's not set in present time, I usually have a hard time like reading it, period. I don't know why, but this was set in the 70s. And this book is incredible. Like, so many good quotes from this book. And I actually was very apprehensive to reading this book because I don't read books that are not set in present day. Read this book. And I feel like it's so easy to read because it's pretty much all dialogue. And the movie or the show comes out actually this month, like in a couple days, and I just feel like this is a book that is going to be very timeless. Like, I feel like years from now we will be reading this book, and people will be like recommending this book. Pick it up. It is so freaking good. My only 5-star read of the month was If He Had Been With Me. The freaking most beautiful, I literally almost cry thinking about it, and I just want to read it again, to be honest. And that's when I know it's like a 5-star read, just to like feel those feelings again. I think I really like this book because the quote that stuck out to me most was when Autumn said that some things are beautifully sad. And when you read this book, it gives you like such a, I don't know, it really makes you realize that like some things in life are beautifully sad, and that's okay. That like life isn't always perfect to make it like, I don't know, the best life ever. And I guess there's supposed to be a second book that comes out to this book. So I'm excited to read it, and you guys should definitely pick this one up. 5 out of 5. It was super easy to read. You'll finish it super fast. Let me know if you cried, because I sure did. That's all 8 books that I read. If you guys want me to give next month more of like details on each book, I can do that. I just feel like if you see me recommend it, like you could look up what it's about. But if you feel like it would be a little bit better for me to like give my rating and also give like a synopsis, like a quick synopsis of the book and my thoughts on it, I can do that, because I feel like I just usually give my thoughts on the book and then I'll share my rating. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to see what I read the month before last, I do these videos every single month, and I also have new videos every single week on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and every other video that I post is a book video, and then every other video I post is a vlog. But in every vlog, I'm almost always like talking about books, shopping for books. Like, books are the main topic. You just kind of get to see how I live my life while incorporating books into my life. So if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely subscribe and come back for the next video on Saturday, because there's gonna be a bookstore vlog in Barnes and an independent bookstore. You guys are gonna love it. It's gonna give all of the cozy vibes that I feel like you guys will really enjoy. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.